Or is a little crooked there. That's better. How are you doing tonight? Welcome. My name is Cindy. You have stumbled across my YouTube channel, Monarch Mom DIY. I am excited to be here crafting with you tonight on Magnolia Monday. That is what I do live on Monday nights. I craft with some products from Magnolia Design Co., which you can find at monarchmomdiy.com. All right, so as people are hopping on, please say hello in the chat. I see we have some people hopping on. Welcome, welcome. I did put my Magnolia website in the description. You can find the surfaces and stencils that I'm going to be using tonight and the chalk paste and inks at monarchmomdiy.com. I make it easy for you guys. Hello, let's turn this so I can see who is on. I see Tita and Geraldine and Cardinal 4210 and Lori and Liz. Cece, oh Cece, did you get a different, is it Cece Mueller? You have a different YouTube. And Connie, hello everyone. Okay, so I think it was it a Magnolia Monday that I did this? Beautiful barn. And then I watercolor painted it and I used white puffy paint for the snow. This is one of our 12 by 12 white shelf sitters. And I did the barn on the one side and I'm going to do something else on the other side. So I forgot to grab it. Let me grab it. I don't know when we did this. Maybe this was also a Magnolia Monday. Oh, I'm so sorry, Hannah, to hear that. I'm glad you're here tonight. So we did the Frosty's Snowflake Cafe stencil just in white on this chalkboard surface. Okay, this stencil is 18 inches by 24, no, 12 by 18, sorry. But I said, you know, it'd be fun to do part of it on the 12 by 12 on the back side of this surface. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the swirly down through Snowflake Cafe. Maybe I can fit this other swirl. We'll see if I can. Let's see if I can fit that. Yes, I can. So I'm going to do swirl down to swirl. So it's just going to have the snowman with the cocoa and 100% Santa approved hot cocoa and cookies, Snowflake Cafe. Super cute. So I just want to show you that you can use parts of stencils. You don't always have to use the entire thing. So we're going to do colors because this is a white background. I have pulled out glittering black, mainly for his hat, his eyes, his mouth, the outline of him. And then I've got tanned leather, which is brown for the arms. I have clementine orange for the nose, of course. And then I thought I would do glittering red for the mug. I also have Old Glory Blue because I thought this would be cute with those colors. So maybe Snowflake Cafe will be in Old Glory Blue. And you know, the 100% Santa approved hot cocoa and cookies. I could also get, let me get some gold. Where is it? Glittering gold for the snowflakes. I think that would be really pretty. All right. Hello from Wisconsin. All right. So I am just going to peel my stencil. And we're going to place it on our surface. I see it's exactly 12 inches wide. So this is going to make it easier to line up. And I'm not going to do the lines on the side. Just like I did not do them on here, because then it would make it obvious that this sign was a little wider than the stencil. I love how this turned out. And because it is a chalkboard, I can just, and this is chalk paste, it dries semi-permanent. I can spritz water on this and clean this off when I'm ready to change it. So that's one of the awesome things about the chalk paste. All right, so I have some paintbrush squeegees, and I'm also going to grab some of my squeegees that I've cut in half. It just makes them a little skinnier and easier to use for small areas. Okay? All right, who's excited? I think this is going to be super duper cute. And I probably will have the barn displayed through Christmas and then change it to this for, you know, after Christmas. All right, I'm going to start up at the top. So I'm going to start with this swirl and that one snowflake there with glittering gold. Oh, you can't see. Let me pull it towards me a little bit. There we go. I also, if you guys are interested, I can show you the craft club for December. It is still available. All right, so we're going to start there and then just work my way down. So glittering black. Oh, I guess I could have done that other little snowflake right here. Try to get some of the extra paste off. There we go. All right, so let's do his hat, glittering black. Get a little bit more there. Okay, so there's his hat, and then we'll do the outline of his head, but just to where the scarf starts. I'm going to do his eyes and his mouth. Okay, and then I'm going to come back here and do the rest of his body between the scarf and his arm. And I guess his buttons too need to be black. Okay. So that's all I'm going to do with glittering black for right now. The first of, what is the first of? All right, let's do his scarf. I'm going to use glittering red, and then I'll come back and do his nose. I'm just going to use one of my little paintbrush squeegees here. I almost did his nose red. So this is going to give you an idea, a visual of how a stencil can look doing it all in one color or doing it in multiple colors. You know what? I was going to do the mug red too. So now I think I'm going to do the mug in a different color. Should we do the mug blue? I think we'll do the mug blue. Okay, there's our red. And our nose. What do you use for harder, heavier stencils so they don't move? I only use our stencils that have their adhesive on the back, and that's what keeps them in place. We have reusable mesh stencils that are adhesive. So if you're talking about like the heavy plastic ones, I don't use those. I have used them in the past, and they're very hard to use because the paint or whatever gets behind them because there's space between the stencil and the surface, and that can get frustrating, right? It's one of the things I love best about this. Okay, I'm going to do the foam or cream or whatever on top of this in brown as well. It's white, so it's going to have a brown outline. All right. Now, blue mug. I don't want to take too long because I don't want my paste to dry in my stencil. So we're going to do the blue mug. Now I don't know what colors to do these. I guess I'll do hot cocoa and cookies in blue also. Blue, red. We'll do 100% Santa approved in red, glittering red. And also this 5 cents. And I'm going to do the Snowflake Cafe in blue as well. Okay, and then let's just finish with our gold. We need a couple snowflakes, and then this down here. And then the best part, oh, one more snowflake, I almost forgot you. The best part of every project is the peel and reveal. That is so cute. I got a little messy here, but I can scrape that off once it's dry. How adorable is this? Didn't that turn out so cute? So see right here, I didn't make sure my stencil was pressed down all the way. So, oh, yeah, no problem. You just go to Monarch Mom. I don't know if it's gonna let you click on this link, but when I'm done, you go to your web browser and you just put in monarchmomdiy.com, and that goes right to my Magnolia website. But you see there on the word approved, my E and D got a little messy. So the mistake people want to make is they want to, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were asking for my website for where you find this. The mistake people make is they want to try to fix it right away. The best thing to do is let it dry, and then you can just scrape off the extra that you have there. But didn't that turn out so cute? I love that. And it's on the back of my barn. All right, so that is the second project that I've done with this stencil. This one used the entire stencil just in white on a chalkboard. And then here's how you can use just part of the stencil with colorful chalk paste. All right, so I'm going to set this aside. We're going to let that dry, and then I'm going to show you how to fix that boo-boo that I had on there. What I want to show you next is our craft club for December. Has anyone not seen the December craft club? Maybe you've already seen it. I'll get all my dirty squeegees here. And the ones I didn't use. Do you guys know what Craft Club is? I haven't talked about it a whole lot, but it is rather awesome. And maybe it's a gift that you need to give yourself for Christmas. It is a complete craft project sent to you each month with a brand new stencil, a surface, and either paste or ink. Closing up all my pastes here that we used for the snowman. Okay. Now, the Craft Club project for December is a banner. We sell refills for this. This is what the refills look like, and you can get them 2 in a pack. They're really nice. They're finished edges, folded over edges on the back, on the sides, and it comes with this magnetic holder. So let me open it out of the plastic. Okay, so, hey Marlene. All right, so you have 2 pieces. This one is obviously the top, because it's got the hanger. And there's magnets here, see? So, this one, oh, my magnet is stuck. There we go. This magnet wanted to come out of the hole. So I may need to glue that back in. Oh, now it's in there the wrong way. Great. All right. Okay. Well. There we go. Let's flip it around the other way. Hopefully that was the right one. There we go. All right, I had to pull it out so I could turn it around. Anyway, there's magnets, and they're pretty strong. And the stencil is, hello, Diane, is do small things with great love. So this is an 8.5 by 11 stencil that comes with the banner. And then the holder, the one with the handle goes at the top, and this one goes at the bottom. It looks like, I mean, you could cut this banner a little smaller if you wanted. I'm just going to go ahead for now and put the stencil image right in the middle. Then if I decide I want to trim, I can. But we're going to, now you don't have to fuzz this when you're doing it on fabric. It's not going to stick too much to the fabric, but we're just going to press this down. You want to get all the green stuck down to the fabric. And there is a little bit of texture in the fabric, so it might bleed a little bit. Hey, Patty. Hey, Janice. Okay, and then you get 2 packets of ink with this kit and a squeegee. I'm not using packets because I have the colors that you get in jars, but you get glittering black and olive tone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the olive tone all around here with the geometric and, excuse me, and the flowers. And then I'm going to do glittering black ink in the middle for the words. So with ink, you don't need a lot. You're just going to use a little bit. Like I barely dip it in, and you're going to go very lightly until it's filled in the mesh of the stencil. You don't want to keep going over and over it because you don't want it to go under the stencil. You just want it to go in the mesh to get your design. These flowers are pretty fine, meaning the space is pretty small where your ink's going to go. So that especially, you do not need a lot for such a fine lined design. That rhymed. Okay, so I'm just going very lightly. Now, if you got Craft Club and you have other colors of inks, you could definitely do this with more colors, but what I love to show you is what it looks like if you don't have anything else and you just get the kit. This is a great way to try out our amazing Magnolia products without having to buy a lot of stuff or think about, what all do I need? Craft Club is a one-click shop, and you get everything you need to do the project, and then your stencil's reusable, and you probably will have extra ink too in your packets. You could do this on a shirt with your leftover ink. You could do it on a tote bag. All right, I'm just trying to see if I got it all filled in. All right, I'm going to switch to black for the words. And then when we start to lift it up, if it looks like we missed any spots, then we can go back and put more down. All right, so this is glittering black, and wow, this squeegee is very stiff. I don't know if they're making them with a different material. So I like the glittering black because it's kind of like a, I don't know, like a gunmetal kind of color. Thank you for the bless you for my sneeze, Marlene. Okay. I think I got it all, including some on my thumb. All right, so I'm going to clean that off really quick. And then as I start to peel it up, if I see that I need to go back and add, like right there in the corner, see, it's better to have to go back and add more ink than to do too much at the beginning. Still not getting the tippy top of that D. There we go. All right. You know what I need to do? I need to put something down here so it holds it. There we go. This is such a cute design. The other cool thing is with this, you could use the geometric with the flowers and put different words in the middle. Like if you have another stencil that has some words that you like, that would be cute. So I'm just peeling it slowly. And then if I see where more ink needs to go, you just lay it back down and go over it again. Yay. I love it. All right, let's see. Isn't that cute? So what we'll do with this is the directions also come in the box. Pictures, written directions, a QR code for a video. But what it says to do is you're going to want to let this dry, the ink dry for about 24 hours. And then it gives you directions for heat setting it. So that if it gets wet or whatever, it's not going to run. All right, so then what you're going to do, let me see if I can pull this down so you can see what I'm doing. So the one that has the magnets and the knots, you're going to put behind the very top of your banner. And then this other one is just going to click in place over top. See that? So that's going to hold it. And then your other one is going to go on the bottom. And that's what kind of pulls it straight. Gives a little weight on the bottom. And like I said, you can get refills for this. So you just need one. You could just do one of the wood magnetic top and bottom, and then a bunch of different banners that you could change out. This would be a really nice gift. You could make one for each month or something using some of our awesome stencils, and then give it as a gift with one set of the hanger, and people could change it out each month. That would be actually a really nice gift. Okay, maybe next year I will I'll work on that. That would actually be a nice gift for my mother-in-law. I'm gonna start working on that this year. Or just send them to her. You know, that would be cool. Start with one, and then each month, because it's just fabric. You could just fold it up and send a new banner each month, and she could just change it out. Okay, so that is the December Craft Club. You can go to monarchmomdiy.com and then just click on Craft Club at the top, and it'll show you all about it. Okay, so I let this dry. And this part right here, where did my little, there it is. Where it bled a little bit, I am just going to gently scrape the extra with my little razor knife here. To clean it up. And that's how easy it is. But if you try to do that while it's still wet, it's going to make an even bigger mess. So let your mistake dry. You don't want to scratch too deep on this because you will scratch the white off. But, I mean, you could always touch it up with white paint. But I'm just scraping off where I got a little overzealous with my red chalk paste. I should have taken a before picture of what the mistake looked like so you could see the difference. All right, that looks pretty good. See how I fixed it? Just by scraping the extra off. So here was our first project using the Snowflake Cafe stencil, just part of it, on a 12 by 12. And here's our December Craft Club. You know what else you could do? Because you've got some extra space at the top and bottom, wouldn't a cute ribbon that has maybe black and green in it be cute going across there? Maybe I'll look at what I have and see if I can add something to that. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me for Magnolia Monday. Again, let me know if you have any questions. MonarchMomDIY.com is where you can find all of these supplies. And thanks so much for watching. Bye.